Never let nobody in your house that ain't got something to lose.
Amen.
My grandma taught me, your body never lies to you, baby. If your body gets sick after you lay down with him, that means he not yours. He's for the community.
There's something so special about the lessons that come from our grandmothers. The way they carried themselves, the things they endured, especially the things they endured, and how much wisdom they passed down without even saying a word. Let's also not forget to add the love and warmth for those of us that had a chance to experience our grandmothers and that had grandmothers that really cared for them. In this video, we're reflecting on the lessons from our grandmothers, the gems they left us, the habits we saw, and the quiet strength that shaped generations of women. I'll also be sharing a few clips from other creators who remind me of that same timeless energy. Women who embody the grace, resilience, and softness that our grandmothers lived by. Okay, y'all, so I thought I saved the clip with the grandmother talking about don't let men get too comfortable because then they get abusive, but I didn't. But I'm still going to play what I had to say about that clip. What that creator said really resonated with me, especially about not letting a man get too comfortable. I can give you some personal experience from that as well, but we talking about the grandmothers. So basically what that grandmother said was, don't ever let a man get too comfortable with having you that he forgets to value you. Because once some men get too comfortable, they start showing you sides you didn't even know existed. And before we move on, let's just always keep this in mind. There's always another side to that man. And not even just men, there's always another side to people that you don't see yet. You probably never will see it, especially if you keep your boundaries in order. And if you do see it, you'll know how to get on up out of there. Everybody has two sides, maybe even three. And that's why she said, take your time before you marry. In that clip, she told you don't rush it. Get to know him, see how he handles pressure, how he speaks to you when he's angry, and how he respects your boundaries. It's not about being scared of love, it's about protecting your peace.
If you were a grandma's baby, if you were close with your grandma, if your grandma was your best friend, maybe some of y'all have been raised by your grandma, this video is for you. I want to talk about the top 5 things that I have learned from my grandmother on the anniversary of her passing, which is today. Number 1, sometimes you got to go off the grid for your sanity. My grandma had a rough life, okay? She was born in 1948. She was a black woman in Alabama, okay? She had a rough life. And one day she decided to up and move to New Mexico to help my mom take care of me when I was born, right? She didn't tell anybody else in the family, and it was so bad that one of her sisters had to hire a private investigator to find her. Meanwhile, she was just chilling in New Mexico with like baby me, while my mom, was in the military. And my grandma said that was one of the most peaceful experiences in her life. She said that she healed in the desert. She would always say, like, I healed in the desert. And she would emphasize the importance of sometimes you have to leave your family, sometimes you have to leave your friends, sometimes you have to leave the known to go somewhere to heal and work on yourself. Number 2, it's okay to walk your own individual path. Now, mind you, like I said, my grandmother was a black woman born in 1948 in Alabama, okay? And she loved photography, she loved cooking, she loved poetry from like Nikki Giovanni and Gwendolyn Brooks, right? She loved to write, she loved writing poetry as well, she loved music, she would like tailor her own clothes and my clothes. She would take me to museums and science exhibits. She was genuinely a very, very cultured woman. And people thought she was weird for it. Like, a lot of people in her family treated her like she was the black sheep because she wasn't out here just doing regular stuff. Like, she was always thinking higher and differently from everyone else. Number 3, sometimes when people don't like you, you just gotta say, screw them. Now, my grandma was a bleeding heart, right? And so, being the black sheep of the family, she would often try to go above and beyond to be kind and loving to family members and friends who didn't understand her and did her wrong or gossiped about her or whatever. And it took a toll on her. And me watching her example, I learned what not to do in that instance. I learned that sometimes the best thing that you can do is to literally act like people are dead. Rest in peace. All right, I'm not going to keep trying to get your approval or make you like me or any of that. I'm going to peace out, and you can create whatever kind of narrative that you would like about me. That's between you and the God of your choice. 4, you don't have to monetize every single hobby and interest that you have. I know that this is a time in which we're all, most of us, having financial difficulty in the world today, and there's so much pressure on us via capitalism to find ways to make money, and everything got to be monetized. But when I tell you, my grandma was writing poetry for herself. She was writing short stories for herself. She would draw for herself. I'm sure she knew that her writings and work would be discovered when she passed, but she wasn't doing it for external validation. She was doing it because she needed a creative outlet to express herself, and it made her happy, and it got out all of that energy that she was holding within. And that taught me that there are some creative outlets that we have that we can keep to ourselves. The world doesn't need it. You don't need to put it up for sale. You don't need to show it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform. You can literally just keep it to yourself because it makes you happy. And as a music artist, I take that seriously. And number 5, one of the top things that I learned from my grandma is to make a decision and to stand on it till your knees break. I am a person who has famously had a difficult time making decisions. I waver back and forth, whatever. And my grandma would get on me make a decision. You can always change your mind, but make a decision. You will feel better and you will see a clearer perspective once you at least just make that step of making a decision. She was very stubborn. She was the type, she gonna make that decision, she gonna stand on it. If she figured out that it was wrong, she would make another decision, but until she determined that it was not the right decision, she was gonna stand on that till her knees fell off, right? That's something that I have learned over time that is so important. So yeah, today's a tough day. Today's been a tough day. I went to the movies with my mom, the new Miyazaki film, and I've just been sitting thinking about my grandma and her memory all day, and I wanted to do something positive to commemorate her today because all of our grandmothers hold so much wisdom from their lived experience, and a lot of us discredit it because it was so long ago or the world in which they lived does not exist anymore. But especially as a Black woman, your experience is probably the same as your mother's, and it's the same as your grandmother's, and it's the same as your great-grandmother's. We basically keep repeating the same cycles. So why not learn from their life in order to make better decisions, I love her so much. I miss her so much. And I hope that these tips helped you. What tips do you have from your grandmama that you learned? Put them in the comments.
You was raised by your grandparents.
Grandma.
Although your mom was around, your grandmother felt it was best that you live with her. What were some of the lessons that she instilled? Because I was raised by my grandparents, mainly my grandmother.
Do right by others. And that's something that I always try to do. Do right by others in life. Do right by others in life. And I fell short of that before. I fell short. And I think that's what life is about. Life is about experiences. Life is about lessons. Life is about mistakes. And with those mistakes in life is learning from them and never allowing them to repeat themselves.
Right.
And I've done a hell of a job at that. A hell of a job. And always showing love to any and everybody, no matter who you are. And people will tell you that have met me and passing, yo, you're nothing like what they perceive you to be. Yeah, 'cause that's the media, that's their job. Right. I enjoyed being the villain. I like that. I bought into that role, but that's nothing like I am in person. That's a persona.
Right.
And on Sundays, I allowed them to portray how it was viewed by the public.
Right.
And I was okay with that.
Another lesson I want to say that we have learned from our grandparents was respect. You can always tell everything you need to know about a person by how they treat people they don't need. And we should carry that with us. Always treat others with respect, even when they can't do anything for you. That alone will take you far, and it says a lot about your character. The energy you give out always circles back to you.
Here we are.
That's so cute.
So, Grandma, what is the secret to living a long, healthy life?
Love. I'm really loving myself. And I think most people have a problem because they don't think of themselves. They think of everything out there, you know?
Yeah.
But you have got to think about yourself first. You help yourself first, you know? And because the reason for that is because you really like yourself.
Right.
You know? You're feeling good about yourself. And that's the only way you can extend it. It has to come from you.
Right.
And when you see people having a problem, it's because of that reason. You know, they're not thinking about themselves. Everything is out there instead of in here. The mind is very, very powerful. Whatever thoughts you think, good or bad, it's coming from your mind. You know, and so it materializes. You know, positive thinking. It's very important. Can't dwell on that. The problem. It's not good. But most people have to be taught how to do that. I was taught. I went to different seminars and therapies, and I got lots of help. That's all I can say. But we do need that, because it's hard to really do it on your own. But I'm so grateful that they had people that could give me that information.
Yeah.
And it has helped me a lot. Right. So I've really had, because of my way of thinking, I've had an excellent life, fun and, great friendships. Yeah, I've attracted the nicest people in my life. And because of that, I've enjoyed life so much. And I pass it on to others.
One of the biggest lessons I learned from my grandmother was about love. Not just romantic love, but self-love. And people show love in different ways. People have a different set of boundaries. People can take a different amount of pressure from others. What I will say is my grandmother always poured and still does pour into everyone around her. But you gotta make sure you pour into yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. And that really hits me so deeply, especially now that I'm older. because loving yourself is the foundation of living a flourishing, healthy life. Give as much love to yourself as you give to others, especially you, because you are the glue that holds everything together. You deserve softness, patience, and care, especially the care that you give to everyone else. Now, let's pause for this final clip from Creators.
Man, my grandma, to this day, bro, I use everything she told me and taught me to live my life, how I want to live my life. That's how I got everything I got. That's how I put stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I don't care about money, but I know it's important because I got to take care of me and everybody. You know what I'm saying? And not literally just take care of them, but like show them the way, guide them, and keep shit together. Out of everything she was saying, I look back at all these years, like I still just be thinking. She was basically like, be something. You know what I'm saying? Like, be something. Take care of everybody. Like, do what you do. Like, she was like, man, do something with yourself. You know what I mean? And it's like, she knew what was up. I be like, how could she know what was up back then? But she knew what was up. You know what I mean? Real talk. And her point was like, bro, you ain't got no friends. That's why you hear me all the time. Like, that's why I'm a real loner. Like, real talk. Like, that's what my partners hate the most, bro. Cause they're like the regular person, the person you would see, like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, they gonna walk around with all the security, 50 niggas and this and that. Like, I like to be by myself, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just like to be by myself, bro. Like, real talk.
So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I'm 63 years old. And if nobody told you today, I've lived through enough life to hand you a few truths. Take the photo. You'll want it later. You'll forget what your smile looked like if you don't. Stop skipping the trip. The money will come back, but the time won't. Wear the dang tank top. If someone's staring at your arms, that's their hobby, not your problem. Say what you mean. The people who get you won't need it sugar-coated. Let people help you. Strength isn't suffering in silence. If it feels off, it is. Your gut is wiser than your excuses. Don't wait for perfect timing. It's already late. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace. Love deeply, but not blindly. You can have a soft heart and sharp boundaries. Forgive yourself for the years you played small. You didn't know better, but now you do. If you're not sure if it's love, it's probably not. No one's thinking about your flaws as much as you are. You are not too old. You're just getting started. So you can outgrow people without hating them. Let it be gentle. Start the thing. You'll be glad you did, or you'll have a great story. So don't wait 63 years to learn what I just told you. You can't rewind, babe, but you can show up different from here on out. And I swear, life gets better when you quit asking permission to enjoy it.
What's some advice you got for me?
Watch yourself. Watch out for yourself. Because everybody that come to you smiling and grinning and act like they're your friend, and I'm talking about women and men, girls and boys, I'm talking about all of that. I'm talking about everybody.
Okay.
Got to watch. The Bible said watch as well as pray. And I went for a long time with that. Why is I got to watch? Everybody know praying is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Is pray, talk to God about it, He'll fix it, right?
Yeah.
But it said watch as well as pray.
Yeah.
And I went a long time. I couldn't get. Why is I got to watch? And then pray. And I couldn't figure it out. But you watch people because everything that look good ain't good. And everybody look at you and smile. It's not a smile. It's just the way they looking at it because they got that stuff in them.
Yeah.
So you got to be particular how you talk to people, how they look at you and smile, all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes they look at you and smile, and all of a sudden they hate your guts. Anything you do, the kid they'll do. You just don't, the Bible tell you to watch as well as pray. All right then. That's what the Bible tell you.
Yes.
Watch. You got to watch everybody. Because everybody laugh and grin with you is not your friend.
That's right.
And they'll act like they're beating your friend. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you this because you are mine and I love you.
I would say to myself, stop being so busy.
Slow down.
Slow down. Take time for yourself. Take time for your husband. Do something. If it's not anything but just sitting on the porch and telling him, honey, we've been through the storm and rain, but we made it.
Yes.
And without God, it's impossible. Because one thing I do know, prayer works.
Yes, it does.
And nowadays, people is going in every direction and going down the wrong path. Why is that? People do not love each other like they used to. People do not care about each other. And they're only saying, I'm doing me. That's what you young people say. Doing me. I just want to tell you today, please tell someone that you love them and be kind to everyone.
When I think about my grandmother, the first thing that comes to mind is how strong she is. But not just strong in a loud way. It was that quiet kind of strength where she handled everything with grace, even when life wasn't easy. She even handled disrespect with grace. I learned so much by just watching her. The way she kept her home together, the way she took pride in how she looked, and how she always made people feel loved when they came around. It taught me that womanhood isn't just about doing, it's about being. Being present, being graceful, and being consistent. One thing she used to always say was, don't let the world harden you. She didn't say it in those exact words, but that's exactly what she meant. Stay kind, but stay smart. And that really does stick with me because she knew what it meant to stay soft in a world that doesn't always make it easy for women to be soft. And just think about it. Now we're trying to live our soft life. So we clearly see what happens when you let the world harden you. It's a whole generation, maybe even 2 to 3 generations of women that don't know how to be soft and just be in the present. Watching her, I also learned the importance of routine. Waking up early, making time for yourself, keeping your space clean, and showing up for people you love. Those were her love languages, I would say, before we even had names for them. And even now, so many of her lessons really guide how I interact with people, especially relationship-wise. Not just romantic relationship, but with my kids as well. Whether it's how I move through relationships, how I show up for my kids, or even how I take care of my business. Her influence is all over that. Our grandmothers really were and are the foundation. They built from nothing and made it look like everything. A lot of them didn't even have all the support that we have from the government. A lot of them didn't have welfare. And I think that's something we should always honor, especially as women who are still learning, still healing, and still growing into our own. One thing I will say is my grandmother taught me how to have boundaries. Now, as we transition into these last few clips from creators, make sure you stay until the end because I really want you to leave a comment. But I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to ask you to comment until the end.
I think that I could have done all the things that I have done without a man. When my 2 husbands and my father all died within 3 months. And I found myself Betty, because I was no longer Betty Charbonnet, no longer Betty Reed. I was no longer defined by someone else's name. The important thing is never.
You don't take no mess off of no man. Black, white, blue, or green. You don't have to.
So you trying to say I be taking mess with niggas?
To me, a little bit. Yeah.
Why do you think I'm still single?
Because she's smarter than they are.
And what do I have to do?
Play dumb. That's how you find a husband. You gotta play dumb. And you gotta back those big eyes you got.
And then what do? I just get a ring on my finger and then all of a sudden I'm sharp?
And then you're sharp. That's it. That's it. And the reason I'm single is that I'm very picky and you want to be very flattered. That's it.
IT.
I was in a nursing home today and this old lady told me something strange that I have to pass on to all of y'all. So she was like, do you have any kids? And I was like, yeah, I have 4. She said, go home today and write 4 letters. Put all your ego, your pain, your anger, emotions, feelings, everything to the side and write down 4 letters. Everything you would have to say to your kids if you were not here tomorrow. If today was your dying day, if this was your last moment. And I looked at her and I held her hand and I'm like, it's okay, baby. You're not dying today. And she said, but I already did die. She looked at me in my eyes and she said, I OD'd right in front of my daughter, right after I told her that I wished I had another child. And she said, when I realized I was dying, I reached out to my child and all I could say was, I'm sorry. And she said in that moment, she realized what she said to her daughter, like she didn't have time to take it back. And she was like, go home. Like, you never know what little things that you could have said to your child that sticks with them. And it might come a time where you're like, oh, I got enough time to fix this. And maybe you won't. I don't know, y'all. I had to pass that message. That shit was deep. I was crying to this lady, y'all. I was crying to this lady. I had to share that message with y'all, though.
Our grandmothers were and are the blueprint. They showed us what strength, class, and love look like in real time. Their lessons are reminders to slow down, stay grounded, and to move with purpose. If this video made you think of your own grandmother, or even a woman who played that role in your life, drop a comment and share one thing she taught you. I'd love to read them. Just think if we could just get 10, 15 comments about what you learned from your grandmother or the woman that played the role of your grandmother. That would be so much wisdom that we can just bounce off one another. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more healing and level up content, and grab your copy to the 30-day Glow Up Journal to start embodying those same feminine grounded habits in your own life. This is Pretty Girl Rich Era, where we heal, level up, and become the best version of ourselves. See you in the next one.